Hi everyone, I am Rebecca Sizemore and I'm going to be talking about RTI and MTSS framework. So what exactly is RTI? Well, RTI is response to intervention. It is a framework for early identification and support of students with learning and behavior needs. It focuses on data-driven decision making. It provides increasing level or support or tiers, and the goal is to prevent academic failure. So what is MTSS? Well, MTSS is a multi-tiered system of supports, and this is a broader framework, and it integrates academic support through RTI, behavioral supports through PBIS, and it emphasizes a whole child approach and a school-wide system of support. So let's look at RTI versus MTSS. So RTI is a primarily academic focus and it's intervention based. MTSS is academic, behavioral, and social emotional. So it's a comprehensive system, but RTI is a part of MTSS. So the tiered model has 3 levels of support. Tier 1 is going to be the universal instruction. Tier 2 is going to be targeted interventions. Tier 3 is intensive interventions. Now, movement between the tiers is based on student data, and if a student is progressing, once moved to tier 2 or 3, they can be moved back to the previous tiers. So let's look at tier 1 a little more. So tier 1 is the universal supports, and that one is high quality classroom instruction. It's provided to all students, and it includes differentiated instruction, classroom management strategies, and it typically meets the needs of about 80% of students. Tier 2 is going to be more targeted supports. So if a student is not progressing in tier 1, they would be moved into tier 2, and they would get small group interventions. So basically it's for students that are needing more help. So it's focused and short-term support. So the goal is to get them back up to tier 1, and their progress is monitored regularly. So this tier supports about 10 to 15% of students. Tier 3 is more intensive supports. So this is individualized intensive interventions. It has frequent progress monitoring, and it may involve other specialists such as special education teachers. And this supports about 5% of students. So data-based decision making. This is universal screenings, progress monitoring, and progress monitoring. The data is used to identify students in need, adjust instructions, and evaluate the effectiveness. Some key components of MTSS is its evidence-based instruction. It uses universal screening, tiered interventions that we just spoke about, progress monitoring for all students, family involvement, and collaboration among staff. So let's look at the legal foundation of student support. So there are federal laws that support students with disabilities. These laws ensure access to education and services. So 2 of those key laws are going to be IDEA and Section 504. So IDEA stands for Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. So this is a federal special education law. It provides individualized education programs, or IEPs. It ensures free, appropriate public education, which basically means that students with these disabilities cannot be turned away by public schools because of their disabilities. And it covers 13 disability categories. So some of the key features of IDEA is, again, the individualized goals and services, or the IEP. Parent involvement is required. Legal protections and rights are in place, and progress must be monitored. Now, the Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act is very similar, but there are some key differences. So this is a civil rights law. It prevents discrimination based on a disability. And it provides 504 plans. Instead of an IEP, they would have a 504 plan. So it ensures equal access to learning. So just to look at the IDEA versus the 504. So with IDEA, it's a special education law, requires an IEP, and there's very specific eligibility criteria, which is going to be those 13 categories of disabilities. Now with Section 504, it is a civil rights law. It provides accommodations, and there's a broader eligibility. So let's talk about how RTI and MTSS connects. So both of those help identify students who may need support. It provides early intervention, and the data that is collected is used for special education referrals. So once they get to that tier 3, if they are still not progressing, and the data is showing that they need extra help, then referrals are going to start to be made for special education. 504 eligibility decisions are also be made, and there's not a delay for evaluation. So what are the benefits of RTI and MTSS? Well, there is early identification of learning needs, because it starts with all students, not just students who are seen as struggling. It's all students are progress monitoring from the start. It reduces referrals to special education, because some of those students are getting interventions in the classroom, and they're able to get back to tier 1. It improves student outcomes. It promotes equity in education, and it supports teachers with structured systems. Now, with any system, there's benefits and there's also challenges. So some of those challenges are that it requires time and training. The data collection can be demanding. This is a very data-driven system, so there has to be data collected on every single student. There has to be consistency across all staffs. Gen ed teachers, special ed teachers, dyslexia, speech, therapists, even other teachers in the building that interact with these students, paraprofessionals, all of them, there needs to be consistency. And of course, resource allocation. The role of teachers is very important. So this is going to be the classroom teachers that are in the classroom with the kids the majority of the time. So their role is to deliver high quality instruction, monitor student progress, all students, collaborate with intervention teams, and communicate with families. Collaboration with families is a very big part of this because we want the same learning to be going on at home, or at least be reinforced at home. So in conclusion, RTI and MTSS provide a structured system to support all learners. It focuses on prevention, early intervention, and data-driven instruction. It helps to ensure that every student is given the opportunity to succeed. Thank you for your time and listening to my presentation about RTI and MTSS.